Okay, this is my cross-gendered leisure project, and I did my focus on baking. That was my activity, and so I shall start my slideshow. My first slideshow is the study show and the stereotypes. The professor of Cornell University conducted a study on how comfort food preferences vary according to age and gender. The results showed that women prefer snacks such as candy or chocolate, while men prefer meals as comfort foods such as pasta and meats. And that was by Wienzik in 2003. This creates a stereotype or discrimination on women in the sense that they prefer sweets and men prefer meat. The only reason why I kind of added this in was because just to show kind of like a significance that it was just like stereotypically known that women just had this kind of focus on sweets than meat, which is why baking and cooking, like women were, it's more of a leisure activity for gender stereotypes for women for baking. Historical perspective, bread making skills were valued and are passed down from older women to their eldest daughters or daughters-in-law. And this is from a book from Avakian and Haber in 2005 um, about like the history of like cooking and baking. And we can see that bread making has been something passed on for generations, and that it was a huge part of history. Men didn't participate in baking as much at home, and the stay-at-home wives would usually do all the cooking and baking. Current perspective. In 2019, 39.6% of bakers in the U.S. were men. There were approximately 180,010 bakers in the United States. I left the link for the website that has the statistics. So, according to this statistic, in the U.S., almost 40% of men were bakers. Huge historical changes in the sense that it's not primarily women who bake now, it's men as well. So that's kind of awesome and huge. That almost close, but not 50% of men are bakers as well. Relationship to class material. Baking falls into traditional ideas of leisure because it's something that women were predominantly doing in the past, while the men were at work. In the Makers documentary, part one, predominantly I noticed in the TV commercials, you would always see a woman making food or baking while the husband was always about to leave to work. This created an unfortunate reality that people accepted that women were to be as stay-at-home wives. I will post the video now to show that from Makers Part 1. Unfortunately, the audio got a little weird as I was trying to record it, but the subtitles are there. Either way, it's going to be like a short clip. You'll know when you see it. My experience with the activity. I honestly had a lot of difficulty with the cookies as they didn't really cook well. I I cooked them and I took them out of the oven and the inside still didn't cook as well, but it tasted pretty good. I had a lot of fun doing it as well. I think it's something I could pick up for sure. I didn't participate in this activity before because I thought it'd be more difficult compared to cooking food. Reflection on my learning, this activity challenged me because it was definitely out of my comfort zone. I gained insight in the sense that I am now more comfortable in accepting into exploring baking and doing it again in the future. And I would love to participate in this activity again. On the left, those are my oatmeal raisin cookies that I cooked that weren't cooked fully, unfortunately. And then I made a parfait on the right, and that one was more successful. But that one, it's a little bit different. It's not super baking, but it's in the dessert realm, I guess. I had a lot more fun with the parfait because it was a lot more easier to make. It was a lot more tastier. It was just better. So that was my learning on this assignment and this project. It was really cool to just do this and get a perspective on everything. So yeah, I'm really thankful that I got to do this. It was really cool.